Immortals and Phoenix1. And there goes the Mordekaiser ban. 0.5%.
Nice reaction to when you draw a Mordekaiser ban, you've made it.
You certainly have. There goes the Talia ban once again, along with that Rumble. No big surprises here. And Trundle banned away from Brandini. He's taken it 4 games in a row.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised about that, honestly. Whenever you do fall into a pattern like that, people eventually are just going to take it away from you just to see what else he's going to do, right? We've only recently seen him playing the Trundle, going with that split push, put him out of his comfort zone, and maybe this time around he won't be that big split pushing threat, later into the game. And Huni will look to try and take advantage. Phoenix1, though, because they're on red side, they get to choose which of their lanes gets the counter pick by revealing it last.
Alrighty, Immortals now looking for their first pick. Looks like they're going to take a page out of Phoenix1's book and take that Karma. Now, Sivir's still open, and Rek'Sai and Sivir. Wait, are they just going to swap teams? No, the Mordekaiser just banned. They can't do that.
Yeah, this time around, though, Inori will grab up that Rek'Sai. For the squads. Go from Mordekaiser to the #1 super standard jungler right now in North America. And that will push ReignOver over to the Gragas. A lot of playmaking ability here from Immortals in the second round pick with Gragas and Ashe. And WildTurtle will have the burden of being the main initiation once again with his arrows. See if we can get those snipes down.
Now it's time for Phoenix1 to react. The solo lanes are still open. Pobelter and Huni still have got those 2 picks. You can see the coach Bonquish communicating now with Phoenix1 for what they're going to be taking. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. They're working it down. We'll see if they've got something new. Of course, they've got to have high spirits after game #1, so maybe going with something a little bit more standard might just revitalize them even more.
Something new, something old here. I like the Taric. It was so well used. Now it's going to be more difficult for him, though, because he doesn't have the Callista to add that extra angle that he can come from, some extra utility there. But the front line right now from Phoenix1 is setting up to be very strong and give a lot of room to this Sivir. So that team fight later into the game, and once Sivir does start getting those crit multipliers coming through, is going to be very scary. I really like pairing Taric with something that can ensure that you get the team fight afterwards. Yes, they don't have the Callista, but Sivir's speed boost is going to be great because Maokai route, point and click. You're getting somebody to stick around. And if the Taric ult is coming down, that's all you want. You want to lock people in place. They've got the speed. They have the lockdown to do it now.
Ooh.
Someone who can save whoever gets Twisted Advance upon with the Tahm Kench here. So it will be over to Adrian, I believe. I mean, technically, we can go through all the different iterations of swaps that these guys can do, but I would assume this is the support Tahm Kench for Adrian into the Taric.
Meanwhile, that puts Illaoi top for Huni. And now Phoenix1, they've got counter pick in the mid lane. A lot of utility and safety on that Karma, but Pirean, he will get his pick of the litter to try dealing with that. So far, there's a lot of damage on that Sivir, but he'll have to make up with some magic damage. Yeah,
and it is going to have to be about the team fight here for Phoenix1 because Illaoi absolutely demolishes tanks. Someone like Maokai, who has no burst damage and only can set up ganks for other people with damage to come kill Illaoi, is not going to have a good time in that lane. The tentacles comes flapping through. There it is. That's a good little angle there from Phoenix1. They answer the pick with the Twisted Fate. That's someone who can come for those surprise ganks and try and punish someone like Illaoi who does not have an escape but likes to play aggressively, likes to push the lane and get that extra harass on you while you are under your turret.
And that's such great synergy. Maokai with a point-and-click snare. Taric, if he can land a stun to combo it up, or even following the gold card. Phoenix1 rounding out their composition. And now Immortals breaking out the Illaoi and Tahm Kench to try to break this apart.
Yeah, the one thing that they do lack a little bit with that last pick, Twisted Fate, as you mentioned, you are looking for a bigger damage source as far as magic damage is concerned. Twisted Fate is not exactly the highest DPS mage from the mid lane. It's much more about creating those early plays with the ultimate to try and enable other people to get extra gold. and it is going to be a lot on Mash's shoulders to put out the DPS for that team if they want to take this 2-0 and add Immortals to the list of top teams that they've taken down.
The trophy case, will it grow larger or stay the same size? Again, this is the last match that Phoenix1 are playing before that promotion tournament, so it's time to bring the heat. A lot of fans converted over the course of that last game. Will we get some more as we load onto the Rift? Immortals looking to bring us to game number 3, and Phoenix1 trying to close out a 2-0 and say, you know what, remember that time we 2-1 to TSM? Well, we can 2-0 Immortals.
Always got to raise the bar. Every time you achieve your goal, got to set a new one and aim high.
Yeah, and we have got a quick pause loading into the Rift. We're going to get that figured out right quick, but let's talk a little bit more about these compositions. The big surprise for me watching Phoenix1 is not only has they been getting better as a team, but their team comps have been evolving. Not only do they have these wacky picks, but they're also resorting to a little bit more standard picks as well. I
mean, that's been sort of the case with them. As Inori said in the interview after last time when he picked Rengar, he was like, oh, they banned Rengar third game? I wasn't even planning on playing him again.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the surprise picks and the surprise strategies. You use them for one quick win and then go back to something standard, something that's so much more reliable. Now they have the game advantage in this series. And they have that extra leg up to try and go with the super standard Rek'Sai and try and play it normal this way. Now they have a couple globals to work with. They have the Sivir speed as well. And, they kind of rely on also their opponents being thrown off guard, carrying over into the next game after facing something like that in the first game, the opening match of the series.
Well, with this best-of-3 format, Phoenix1, since coming together with their main 5, has really started thriving and showing that exceptional growth that we continue to talk about. But as you can see, loading onto the Rift, everyone racing out. Defensive line so far from Phoenix1. I'm a bit concerned for Adrian if he's going to try to face check it once again. There's no threat, but it's just a little... Yeah, he's staying back as well. Okay.
It's a good sign. He's learned.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, trying to dodge around that vision. We'll see if he actually uses a trinket down there as well, as Gate has already bailed. Yeah, uses that trinket ward in that bush to keep an eye on it. And nice and slow. No early kills this time. We might have a standard match.
Well, they did see the wards placed, so it's now the guessing game of, oh, are they sticking around? Are they swapping up to the top side? And it looks like we will have semi-standard lanes where they swap both duos up to the top side, calling the lane swap here. And that would mean that we would get to see that Illaoi versus Maokai, which should be in Huni's favor and might draw, in response, some lane swaps from Phoenix1 later down the line. We've seen that they're not afraid to do, later on in the game lane swaps, try and shove up the lane, kill a minion wave, and then start heading over first to get that couple seconds advantage in transition, and try and keep their opponents, changing and off balance.
Both of the duo lanes now starting off with a camp on that top side of the map. Leash being given over to ReignOver, but no leash for Inori, as Mash will start off with that first one, and Mash. WildTurtle will also get his 2. So Inori clearing that out.
Fighting over the first minion wave here. Need to get control for the level 2.
Stun catches Turtle. He's got some damage. Spell Shield used very early along with the exhaust. Slows now onto Gate. Adrian's looking for that tasty Sivir, but
they're deep in the minion wave though. Turtle was tanking the entire minion wave, melee and ranged minions there. So even though Phoenix1 weren't getting much return auto attacks, they got a lot of return damage there onto the AD carry, which is the one with less sustain and the one that you want that extra harass on. Got to be very careful and respect early minion damage. When the fight is between minions and level 1 champions, the minion actually demands respect.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Huni gets a good dunk onto Brandini.
Yeah, this is what it looks like when Illaoi has a lane that can't go toe-to-toe and just gets to constantly push, heal up with the tentacle smashes here. Also able to land that Test of Spirit. That's huge. You clear out the minion wave first so that you can try and get that Test of Spirit through. And then once you get on them, extra harass for free under the turret here. Makes it annoying to CS, gets extra damage, makes them miss their CS.
ReignOver has found Inori. He doesn't have a smite, but Flash engages. Smite onto the red buff to heal, and Inori escapes.
Yep, that heal actually does save him too. It is going to mean that he should forfeit this red buff though, and ReignOver objective complete here as he does steal it. Didn't get the first blood, but did chase him off.
Quick advantage for ReignOver, getting that 3-buff start. Mash and Gate trying to keep themselves safe under the pressure of this Ashe and Tahm Kench in the top lane. Especially knowing that Rek'Sai is back, they've got to play it a little bit more defensive right now.
Great tracking there from ReignOver as well. Some educated guesses to go for that. And good timing. Finds the Rek'Sai. Small advantage though, just one camp, and Inori will be right back out on the field farming. So not a tremendous lead, but one camp and no red buff for Inori. See if they can actually get vision around mid lane here, because the pings are coming down and Pobelter's going aggressive.
Yeah, snare onto Pirean, but Inori going for the Scuttle Crab will not be able to follow up. Teleport being used by Brandini to get back into that lane, as he is taking a lot of harass from Huni.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about from the beginning, I mean, oh, he gets eaten up and he's out!
Does. There goes a stun. WildTurtle dodges. There's Mash trying to answer back. Gate is low. Oh, that was close.
Oh, baby. This is a fun lane up here on the top side. Get some melee supports in NA for once here. I don't know what he's scared of. I guess they got to respect that ReignOver might be coming to try and kill him. But ReignOver's not in the area, so Mash might actually stick around, try and get that cannon minion under turrets. Oh, he doesn't get the cannon minion. So even though Adrian, doesn't get a whole lot done over there as far as, harassment or going for any turret dives, by just standing there, Adrian denied the cannon minion from Mash.
Very important to take as many advantages as possible, especially against someone like Mash, who's so fond of farming and getting those huge CS numbers. And speaking of CS, we now see that it has caught up between Brandini and Huni, who does not use his teleport to get back into lane. So this might be a little bit tough for Phoenix1 in this early game.
Yeah, Huni hasn't used it yet. Maybe that means there's going to be a topside play. ReignOver's deep in the enemy jungle. ReignOver, he just used his Trinket Ward, so there's a possible teleport on that Trinket Ward that ReignOver just placed.
Uh-oh, Inori's actually completing the recall. Adrian in the front immediately flashes. Teleport now being used by Huni. This is 3 versus 4. Inori's exhausted. The body slam misses Gate. And there's Pobelter teleporting as well. That's 5 people heading towards that lane. Gate falls. First blood to Immortals.
Teleport number 2 for Immortals comes through. And Huni does have to use it on the top side. That means Brandini does get to catch up on CS in the bottom. But Maokai's not going to get much headway on this turret. Very slow turret taker. And just going to mean some extra CS caught up for him.
Yeah, now you can see WildTurtle heading down towards that bottom lane. Looks to catch it, but here's the replay of that fight again.
And let's look at, the big difference here as well in the mid lane. He had just forced Pirean back to base, so Twisted Fate was pretty far. And while Twisted Fate does not have teleport, the ultimate from Twisted Fate only goes a quarter of the way. So Pirean wasn't really able to answer that. And Pobelter teleports in to cut off the retreat, even though ReignOver missed the body slam on Gate, and they do secure first blood. Immortals out to that early lead that you would expect from them versus Phoenix1.
Very confident play from Immortals. Huni's actually down in this bottom lane as well, without a teleport. WildTurtle and Adrian are there. Might look to shove this wave and start trying to focus on that dragon. That is an Ocean Drake. Generation so very helpful.
Yep, go for the turret trade, then peel back down into it. Now, you still do have to respect the Twisted Fate ultimate. That will also reveal and alert Phoenix1. If they really wanted to contest it, actually, the pings are going on secondary turrets, so it looks like they might even trade multiple turrets here. As Immortals are going to make quick work of the turret. Ever so slightly ahead in that race. And remember, this is Phoenix1 with the mid lane mobility advantage now. Pobelter used his teleport, so he would have to walk the whole way over, whereas Twisted Fate does have ultimate ready.
However, that Drake is traded over. It's a turret swap, but Immortals get the better of it by collapsing onto that Ocean Drake. No recalls yet from anyone on Immortals. His blue buff is stolen and given over to Huni.
Yeah, the blue buffs are traded right now because the tower pushing for Phoenix1 continues. They push all the way up into the secondary turret. So what happened there is basically 2 minion waves were traded for this Drake. Because Phoenix1 sent Brandini down to catch the minion wave as it hit their secondary turrets, and they just kept their top side pushing. That top side pushed into the turret, all the minions died, and Huni and Immortals instead got to get the early Ocean Drake, which is a very good early Drake, where you get a lot of mileage out of the regeneration in the early stages by backing off out of combat. You know, your jungler gets to use it for a really long time. And we'll see if that trade was worth it.
And once again, Phoenix1 with the later swaps in their duo bottom and Brandini to the top lane. Might look for yet another tier 1 turret trade as they shove this wave out very quickly. And Huni will be allowed to complete his recall as well, so seems like we're falling back to a little bit more standard early action between the two teams. Pobelter. He actually lands the tether, and that was a blue card.
Pirean, you know, up until this point has been having a really good couple of sets for Phoenix1, but he's getting pushed around a lot in this specific game by Pobelter, and it is costing Phoenix1 a decent amount of pressure. Hasn't died yet, but here comes Huni to lend a hand. Pressure
in that mid and top side of the map. Inori actually shows himself as well, as it looks like Immortals are trying to trade that top tier 1. They take it. And just a little bit slower from Phoenix1 once again, but with ReignOver in that side of the jungle and Huni in the mid lane, Phoenix1 have got to play defensive as the turrets are traded back. It's still only 500 gold between the two. They might like to break down this top tier 2, though.
You need the Twisted Advance to dodge the ultimate here, I think. Twisted Advance does make you go untargetable.
Oh, gold card onto Huni. He actually doesn't quite yet take turret.
Pirean
goes low. He's got to dodge the tentacle, but a cast from ReignOver gets a kill. There goes a flash stun onto Huni, but he's taken away by Adrian. Late teleport from Brandini gets him into the fight. WildTurtle will die, and Phoenix1 might try to chase here. Managed to land as slow, but 4 members of Immortals dissuade it.
Yeah, quite a lot of mistakes actually from both sides in that little bit of turret dive there, but less from Immortals. And Pirean actually just dying right before the entire thing even really started, not respecting the Illaoi tentacles at all. Good collapse there from Immortals to get the extra kill.
Yeah, it looks like Huni with that Phage and the hammer doing quite a bit.
Yeah, let's take a look here because Pirean, yeah, Test of Spirit lands and he doesn't care at all. Then the tentacle hits not only the Spirit, but also Pirean, and the collapse from Immortals just finish it off. Here's where the problem happens though. Turtle gets the turret on him, and the rest of Phoenix1 are funneling in behind him, so a little bit deep there between 2 turrets at 10 minutes into the game or so from Immortals.
Now WildTurtle getting collapsed on. He has flash, but makes it to Adrian's belly and safety. Teleport is also canceled from Huni.
Pretty good there from Phoenix1 to get that teleport down, because if it wasn't for that play, Immortals would have double teleport advantage and a Tahm Kench on their team. I mean, we always talk about the Twisted Fate ganks. Tahm Kench, especially with the new buffs.
Uh-oh. There's a...
Don't overchase, I think, if you're P1. That's pretty risky. You don't have a lot of wards that you've spent time putting down. You don't have a lot of offensive control over that red quadrant, so good job by them backing off after that. You know, Hawkshot did scout them out. Yes, sometimes that's frustrating to say, we spent all this time with our pink ward and setting up, but you gotta know when to cut your losses.
Mash just spell shielded the point and click tether of Pobelter as he's catching this wave in the mid lane. Very talented play, but for the time being, Immortals are in the lead in this game, not only in kills, but also in gold. Next Drake spawning in 2 minutes, and Immortals are slowly pushing their pressure forward onto the map.
Black Cleaver completed for Huni as well, so he can start to shred people if they do get to team fights, and the tentacles start whacking all around. Brandini gonna have to do some dodging under there as Immortals close in on mid lane once again, trying to zone off this turret.
There goes the wave clear, but the turret's taking quite a bit of damage. The last minion dies, stun, misses as it's dodged back. WildTurtle's taking a few hits, but the turret is secured. Immediate arrow onto Pirean. Cosmic Radiance is not dropped fast enough.
Great initiation there from Immortals. as Phoenix1 are sticking around trying to defend the last 10 HP of a turret with the wave clear here. Attempted wave clear, and Immortals are not slowing down this game.
Yeah, looking now for that tier 2. Pirean's up in 10 seconds, though. Doesn't have his Destiny or Gate, but Phoenix1 cannot find a way in. There's the test. As the stun gets dodged, that turret's taking a lot of damage, though. And Huni's in the front. He's actually going to get reset. Dodges the aggro. Brandini forced to flash at Immortals, win the fight, and take the turret.
Yeah, Huni got eaten by Tahm Kench pretty quickly there.
Yeah.
Thought he almost instantly went down, but Adrian with the quick fingers saves his life. And man, they are not messing around this game.
Oh no.
Lost a lot of ground in game number 1, but Immortals don't want to let Phoenix1 capitalize. Let's see here, there's the combo. Ashe arrow into a great ReignOver ultimate. Instant kill here on Pirean before the invulnerability does drop. Maokai still not tanky yet.
Still very early in the game, only about 14 minutes, but Immortals, in typical Immortals fashion, are accelerating the pace of this game so quickly, taking those 4 turrets to the 2 of Phoenix1. Now that Ocean Drake has spawned, and Immortals, already well aware, have got WildTurtle on that bottom side of the map and are starting to send a few folks over.
Yeah, whenever you have your AD carry pushing up like that, you need to have Tahm Kench around to save him from a pick, and here's what it is. The ultimate comes down, a little bit of a bait. Oh, that was kind of short. That's okay, though.
Yeah, and Inori will escape with his life by flashing. But that is the ultimate from ReignOver and the flash gone from Inori, so that's going to make stealing a potential Drake so much more difficult.
Definitely worth it play right there. Get the flash. Twisted Fate ultimate was also used. And just trailing your split pushing AD carry. Split pushing Ashe is just so juicy when Twisted Fate on the opponent's team, so you know you got to stick around in the fog war behind him. There we go. Turtle goes aggressive.
Whoa!
Adrian says, calm down, Turtle. No more turret shots for you.
Yeah, like a good support. Gotta pull him back.
Literally can leash him with his tongue here. Pull him back when he gets a little aggro. But yeah, for Immortals, the game plan doesn't change here. Huni's very strong at this moment. With the Black Cleaver, also threatens the 2 versus 1. Can pop the ultimate and get the extra tentacle to try and fend off a 2 versus 1. So strong split push. You know, Illaoi does control the wave really easily, as we said, versus these non-threatening tanks. And Immortals are able to claim another outer turret with the 4-man squad, plus transition into that Drake, which is another Ocean Drake. Not the best for them, but they'll definitely stack that one up. And the next one spawning. A lot of deep vision for them as well. Immortals just right back to complete jungle control in this game.
Immortals demonstrating the dominance that we usually see from this top-tier team. Phoenix1 taking a more standard composition, find themselves unable to match up. 5 turrets to 2 right now, and Immortals 5,000 gold ahead. Only 16 minutes in, continue to accelerate the pace of the game.
And it's really difficult for a team with the low damage profile that Phoenix1 have to come back if they have such an early deficit. Like we said, Twisted Fate is so much about those ultimates making early side lane plays.
Whoa.
Well, Ashe arrow, that's going to land on Gate.
Adrian is angry right now. Trying to 1 versus the world. Luckily, he's got Adrian to keep him safe, but still gets a good amount of damage on a Gate.
Turtle being Turtle. But yeah, it's really difficult for Twisted Fate to not only have unsuccessful early usage of his ultimate, and not make use of those cooldowns, but to die 2 times as well. Very rough game this time around for Pirean, where previously he had been a point of strength for this new Phoenix1 squad. Mash gets very aggressive with Turtle again. Turtle goes
forced to heal, teleport being used. That's Pobelter catching up. Cosmic Radiance for the reset leaves Brandini out to dry. Phoenix1 might try to get this. There's the Destiny Gate for Pirean to group up with his team, but Immortals chase down the kill and continue to pursue. That's Pirean being knocked back in as Adrian escorts Huni to the front line.
Yeah, Mash gets a little bit too close to Turtle there, slowed down, and then all the team tries to collapse to protect him. Immortals cleaned up with the extra range here. Tahm Kench ultimate does come in as well, and they're going to run straight through middle inhibitor turrets 18 minutes into the game.
Yeah, Mash has just now getting out of the fountain, racing up as quick as he can, but the inhibitor turret will fall 18 minutes in. Immortals clearing out this inhibitor. And Phoenix1 are on the struggle bus.
Yeah, Immortals trying to put a stop to that Phoenix1 hype that was starting to generate. Fairy Tale not gonna happen in game number 2 unless they are able to hold out until Mashme gets a lot more damage.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
well,
it's gonna be rough. Yeah, so here, this is where, you know, Mash starts to panic now because no mana also gets slowed, and this is where everybody else gets baited in. The ultimate from Taric not in range for Brandini, so he goes in with just an advance and has nothing left there. Plus, Pirean goes in to try and save him, and it's kind of this ants go marching in one by one situation, and the ants are starting to get squished.
Yeah. Tragic story for those ants.
Who's got a magnifying glass?
Immortals do, apparently. 19 minutes in. Trying to burn this game up. Send the Phoenix back down to the ashes.
Well, that would be an exciting game number 3 because, you know, if it does happen, if Immortals are able to close this one out, which is very probable, maybe we do see Phoenix1 again throw a little bit of a curveball here. Try and switch things up again. They're still, you know, in this one a little bit though. They can try and wave clear and wait around, punish some overdiving from Immortals. That has been one thing that people have criticized for them. Maybe Immortals mess up one of the turret dives. Problem is, there's not that many turrets, especially if they go mid lane.
Yeah.
Immortals making pretty quick work of this game.
Very intelligent play as they're able to take this advantage. As we now start to hit that 20-minute mark, the super minions are cleared out wave by wave, and Inori's thinking he's sneaky right now.
Yeah, Phoenix1 have to be sneaky, right? Because they have to make a play where they outnumber Immortals, and they have an extra champion in the mix. Try and take advantage that way. In the straight-up 5-on-5, they just get outgunned. There's too much money on Immortals. They're too far ahead right now. You can't take a fair fight. So you have to start cheating a little bit. Throw some dust in their eyes.
Yeah.
Attack them from the brush.
A little bit of pocket sand.
And that's what Twisted Fate is all about, right? Trying to pop the ultimate and get a numbers advantage. Same thing with Sivir here. They try and get speed for everybody to collapse. Mortal's not going to let it happen, though. They just go right back to that 1-4 and pressure the turret with super minions going up mid lane.
They're pressuring that top tier 2 turret. It's up to Phoenix1 to try to defend. Lots of wave clear on Sivir and Twisted Fate, but WildTurtle slowly chipping away at that turret's health. Now he has to wait for the next minion wave while Huni pressures Brandini on the other side of the map. This is a scary siege, and once that turret falls, the arrow's off the cooldown. And there's the arrow. It catches Pirean through the laser. There goes the Cosmic Radiance. Catches 3. Brandini catches up with a teleport. Cask separates Phoenix1. Pobelter is going to eat some damage. Brandini, though, forced to flash away. Gold card onto Turtle. Pirean cannot finish him off, and Turtle survives. Brandini tries to get into the back. Pobelter saves him. Immortals Pobelter manages to get the kill as that turret falls. There goes the journey, the abyssal voyage from Adrian to catch back up to the front line as Gate retreats and dies as well. 3 members of Phoenix1 have died in this fight, and Huni wants to make it 4.
Yeah, he's going to test the spirit. That won't be enough to kill him, but Mash will get slowed and have to dodge some tentacles on the way back. Inori in the 2 versus 1. Here we go.
Yeah, not a great place for a Rek'Sai to be. He's doing a bit of damage to ReignOver right now, but is about to be spoon-fed to Pobelter. Another kill. 10-2 right now, and a 10,000 gold lead for Immortals.
It's so difficult when you're behind like this with Phoenix1 and your hope is to pick somebody off and catch them out, but the other team has a Tahm Kench to eat whoever you pick off and try and burst down. You know, there's not a lot of extra DPS after you use it on a single person, and the Tahm Kench pick really showing its value as Turtle gets out of a bad position. Then he's going to use it on Pobelter, who gets chunked down and exhausted. He's not going to go down either. Actually, he just flashes out. Flashes over to the other side. And then once Huni arrives, it is all over. Phoenix1, they had to make really quick work there. You know, at that point, your backs are against the wall, and you're trying to make a little bit of a risky play to get back into it. Now that it didn't work out. Oh, there we go. Got that kill. That's how they got the WildTurtle kill. But Baron Bait, very dangerous now. Twisted Fate Ultimate will be up soon, so they can at least try and check it that way. Maybe there is a Miracle Steal in the future of Phoenix1. Inori's had a few of those.
Certainly has done it before. But that Cloud Drake has spawned even yet another neutral objective for Immortals to try to take control of as that inhibitor respawns. Now 23 minutes in, they go right back to pressuring, looking to clear out that inhibitor within a minute of it getting back on the map, even clearing out the forward wards of Phoenix1. Just controlling this game from top to bottom. Arrow onto Brandini to zone him away. Pirean needs to slow. He's in the front and will die to a crit from WildTurtle.
Yeah, Pirean is not having a good game this time around. He's going to have to refocus, you know, in the huddle after this game. Everybody tell him, no problem, it's all right. You know, put that out of your memory and focus on the next one, because if they come back in game number 3, then doesn't even matter what happened here. Immortals, though, still have to finish it up. Not done yet, just the inhibitor down mid. And Phoenix1 have another chance at the defense.
Yeah, Huni diving a little bit too far, gets a huge amount of tentacles. He's going to get the slow on the gate, follows it up, who flashes. He's going to look to get to the fountain as Immortals dive forward, chasing to try to close this game out. Brandini stalls as best he can. WildTurtle is caught, but Adrian's right there next to him. To the rescue. That's finally the kill onto Brandini, the first, as that second inhibitor will soon fall.
Spit into volley. Turtle's able to get that one, and this is going to be another inhibitor here for Immortals. Back on track for the second place team here in the North American LCS. They really do want to go into playoffs off of some victories, because it would be annoying at the least for them to end their last week with back-to-back losses. You know, suffering a loss at TSM is one thing.
Huni right now, Cosmic Radiance. Adrian is there. He brought WildTurtle too, and Immortals are trying to fight this. Inori gets a knockup, but those are the tanks. Pobelter zoning away the rest. A Turtle gets the kill.
It's the best thing for Illaoi when not only does the enemy team not have a lot of damage to burst you down and finish you off when you're low, but also they're super behind. Oh. Hey, ReignOver with the dunk.
You look thirsty. Have a drink.
All right, that is going to be Immortals evening it up versus Phoenix1 here. 1-2-1.
That's the first Nexus turret dropping. There goes another test. Mash is exhausted. Spell Shield pops a bit of that damage, but ReignOver drops the kill onto Brandini. The Nexus itself gets cleaned up, and Immortals, quick as you like, they take game number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to game 3. That is the face of an angry Huni. That is the face of a man who wants to win this series.
It doesn't look too angry to me. I don't know. I've never seen Huni angry, actually. So maybe I don't even know what that face looks like.
Yeah, does it actually exist?
To me, he always seems like a upbeat guy.
Well, Immortals coming back in that game number 2. They knew what they were doing from minute 1, it seemed.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see them be able to correct after that game number 1. You know, there are a lot of odd balls thrown at them.
Yeah.
They got caught off guard in the first game with the first blood early on, all the picks getting crazy. So they try and calm down, refocus on, you know, what has worked during the summer. And they even actually, you know, threw a little of their own flavor in here. I do like that more and more North American LCS teams are picking up the melee support, so we don't get stuck in our own little meta again of just the range ones, because there are pros and cons to both of them.
Of course.
And some of them right now are a little bit overestimated, but Adrian really demonstrated a lot of the pros of Tahm Kench in this game versus a team that does have low damage and relies a lot on crowd control and picking people.
Yeah, well, Immortals showing us some exceptional play, but we're going to go ahead and take a break for some analysis. We're going to send it back to the analyst, Dash, Mark, and Crumbs.
Thank you very much, Dom. Only so much analysis